former state assembly member, and the first self-help center staff attorney hired at the Monterey County Superior Court to provide access to justice for our county residents. I'm here today to urge you to reprioritize the long-promised Greenfield Courthouse in South Monterey County on your draft list over the recently proposed forward proposal in the city of Seaside that was solely pushed by our local judges and court staff. Greenfield was bumped towards the bottom on the list, despite being on the original list of 27 court construction projects, while forward Seaside was placed to the very top on the critical priority list. Supervisor Chris Lopez and I filed a letter yesterday to further elaborate our concerns, but we strongly believe, based on the many conversations with local judges, documents that we have received so far, and the backdoor conversations that have transpired, that this process was not objective, fair, equitable to our local disadvantaged rural communities and communities of color. It certainly does not reflect a commitment to access to justice, which is something our Judicial Council and our Chief Justice. In June, I met with our local judges and urged them to do this right by fulfilling the promise to Greenfield first, and then offered to work together to realize the Seaside project, but they refused. It has now caused much controversy and negative publicity about our local court and this entire process. Greenfield was promised a courthouse over 10 years ago and was on the original list of construction projects. It has an MOU for existing land already. The City Council committed $10 million towards the project, or 1/3 of the cost. We reduced our cost significantly from the previous proposal, and it provides access to justice to our communities who have really suffered severe hardship, and it serves the fastest growing populations in our county. It also has broad support from numerous local governments and mayors, labor unions, agriculture, and the Salinas Valley Chamber of Commerce. On the other hand, the new Seaside project that was raised just 12 months ago has none of that. There's no land commitment, no local contribution, no MOU with the JCC, and it was never on the court list. And they're already and it has almost no community support. Records that I had received recently from the city of Seaside prove that it was driven primarily by our local judges and court staff, making a unilateral decision rather than obtaining community input about where to site a second court project in our county. In 2013, during the Great Recession, then presiding judge of our court, Marla Anderson, closed the only South County courthouse in King City, but promised me then, as an assembly member, that the court would keep championing for a Greenfield Courthouse. Since then, local residents from that area have had to travel for the last 6 years an hour and a half each way to access all non-criminal court services on the Monterey Peninsula at the Monterey or Marina courthouses. If they take a bus, it's a half-day trip each way for those families. And I have to say, in my opinion, this is a travesty of justice. And frankly, in my 11 years of politics, I've never seen a blatant injustice against disadvantaged community as I have witnessed here. But it's worse. In this case, it's coming at the hand of this case. I also have to challenge the false notion that the current Monterey courthouse is seismically unsafe. That has been the primary pretextual argument that our court has used to justify a new Seaside Courthouse. But when they did their study, no engineers even came to inspect the building, which is owned by Monterey County, and we have other county services already there. But we did our own study, our separate study last year. Engineers came to inspect the building and found that the building was sound, and I submitted a copy of that report last May for the record. To end, I just want to make you aware that I filed a judicial administrative records request about all records regarding the process and all communications about these two projects in our county. But our local court and the JCC have refused to be transparent. The Judicial Council refused to give me any documents at all, except for one report already online, and our local court only gave me 10 pages of emails and copies of city resolutions already online, despite that they have engaged in communications for over 18 months as the lead agency on these court projects. I just want to urge you to place Greenfield first over Seaside in our county and place it on the critical priority list. I thank you for your time to hear these serious concerns to make this just for the communities who were promised and who have been waiting for far too long for their courthouse in South Monterey County. With that, thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you, Supervisor Alejo. We thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
We don't have anyone else who has signed up, but I've seen a few people come in, and I don't know are there any individuals here who wish to